All right, here we go. What's up, guys? So if you've been trying to find customers on Facebook, but it just doesn't seem to be working, then I might have an idea as what the problem is. If you have a Facebook page and you're trying to post every day and trying to get content out there and have your fans see you, and it just doesn't seem to be working, well, I can explain what's happening. So Facebook actually just dropped down the reach rate for your Facebook page. So what that means is last year, 2017, if you posted something on your page, about 8% of your fans will see the post on their newsfeed. And what's changed is this year, it's gone from 8% to 2% of people will actually see your post. So for any given post, only 2% of your fans will actually see what you're saying. Now the numbers change a little bit depending on if you have a really awesome post or if you have a video that everybody's sharing. That's different, but this is for the average post. So if you're trying to figure out what happened to your Facebook page, or if you're just starting out why it's not working, well, that's why. Facebook is squeezing people out with Facebook pages and pushing them to Facebook advertising. So that's where I get a lot of my clients, and it's working for me and a lot of clients that I've dealt with. I've been in business for over 8 years now, and advertising is one of the biggest ways that I've been getting new clients. So there's been a lot of people that have come in and they've had the same frustration as that. The page just stops working for them, or it never worked for them in the beginning, even when the reach rate was really high. So the problem is there's just a lot of different reasons why things don't work. And I'm going to describe out a couple things for you, just so you have an idea of what to look for. So the first one is audience. Now, the audience, if you're going into targeting, you need to figure out exactly who buys your product the most. And there's going to be a lot of different segments of people. You might have a female who's single, who still lives at home, and is 23. You might also have a male that's married, lives in urban housing, it has a high-paying job. There's a lot of different segments, but whenever it comes to marketing, you actually need to pick a segment and go deep with that segment first. It's too easy to try to make up a whole bunch of marketing campaigns, and there's just a lot of work involved. You just won't be able to build a funnel efficiently. So that's the first step, is just pick your audience and figure out exactly who's the most optimal audience. Look, if you're doing a yoga class, let's say, and this yoga class is probably 30, 40 people, and you want to fill it up. I'm just making assumptions here, but probably the most of the people that are in there are female. Wild guess. I could be wrong in some cases. You may have a male yoga class, but it's safe to assume for this theory, or this situation at least, that female is what you want to go after. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go into Facebook ads and we'll say, okay, Facebook, I only want to reach people who are female. And then we go another layer deeper. Okay, what's the age range that people go into? Well, typically they're not probably 85 and above. They might be middle-aged, they might be younger, they might be teenagers. There's such a wide variety. You need to pick one. Here's why. The reason you need to pick one of those segments is if you're talking to a teenager or somebody who's in college, they have a different affinity towards things. The messaging that you talk to them through is totally different. For example, you want to talk to them about being fit, looking great, preparing for sports, or cheerleading, or whatever it is they're doing in college. It's totally different than the middle-aged woman who would just like to have a little more flexibility, would like to have a little bit more tone to their muscles, would like to feel good for their spouse. And maybe people that are much older, they're just looking to have agility. They just want to be mobile still and be able to walk around. So there's just a lot of different messages that you're sending. So you need to pick one of those segments. And that alone is a big mistake that people make, is they don't actually target down that far. But I'm not done yet. You can go as far as interest, what people really like, the area that they're living. There's so much. So audience is one thing. The second one is the offer that you give to your audience. I've seen so many different offers given to people that just aren't compelling. You don't want to give somebody a free report. you want to give them an exact plan on how to solve their problem. So I'll come up with an example. We'll say if you're an insurance company, okay? So in insurance, a lot of people have on their websites, get a free assessment today. What a free assessment? What does that even mean? Assessment of what? Now, people can assume, okay, free assessment of my insurance, which just means you're going to pitch me on something. Well, what's something that's more compelling than get a free assessment? Well, this is just a change of words, but call it an audit and get a little more detailed. Say, look, there's a lot of variables that go into insurance, and it just gets so complex that the average person probably isn't aware of all the things that they're missing or things that they have that they don't need. Come in for an audit, and for free, we will look at your plan and make sure that you're not overpaying or missing out on things that you actually need given your situation. Now, isn't that more compelling than just saying, get a free assessment? And all I did was just get more specific. I detailed out exactly what that assessment made up, right? So that's the offer. You got to really have a solid offer, and it just has to make sense. There's a whole bunch of other things involved there, like you need to actually reach into those the problems that people will be having. Like I said, you may be overpaying for something, or you might have something that is missing from your plan that could be a real big issue for you. So there's a lot of things there. So that's the offer. And finally, you need to figure out exactly how much you should be spending to get customers. Whenever you advertise, yes, you have to pay Facebook. You got to pay to get your name out there, to get your ads out there. And, it just takes money. But in exchange for that, you're hopefully getting customers back. So what you need to do is you need to figure out how much you should expect, how much you can afford in your business to acquire a new customer. Let's say, for example, if you have a service you're selling for $100, if it costs you $120 just to get somebody to come in as a new customer, well, that doesn't make sense. But if you figured out in your business that you can afford to pay $20, $25 of that 100 once you get a new customer, then from there you can figure out, okay, here's the exact offer that I need to do. Here's how more detailed I need to get with my offer, and how do I go that extra step to make sure that I can still remain profitable. So those are the three areas that people really mess up on. And so what I want to do is I want to actually put together kind of a special offer for you. So if this sounds like something that you've been missing or something that you really have needed to know for a long time and nobody told you, then I want to give you something that I think is really useful. I've been working with clients, like I said, for the past 8 years, and I want to bring on more clients that I can help get more customers for. But what I'm going to do in exchange ahead of time is I want to give you a free marketing plan through Facebook. And in this plan, I'll detail out exactly what your audience should be, exactly what your offer should be, and how much exactly you should be spending to get a new customer. All the things that we talked about would be covered in that plan. So again, there's no obligations to this plan. It's completely free. Of course, the end result is I'd love to work with you in executing on that plan, but you don't have to. In fact, if you already have someone in mind or you have a team, feel free to take the plan and just run with it. I just want you to succeed, and this is the best way for me to do that. So if that sounds interesting to you, then click below more to learn and find out what's included in the plan and more details about it. We'll have a consultation phone call, probably 15-20 minutes, and from there I'll be able to create this report and figure out what exactly you should do with your business.